For your own racing, maybe you've dreamed of driving a $345,000 Ferrari race car. Bloomberg Auto columnist Jason Harper, he doesn't dream, he drives. Jason, it's a pleasure.
Always good to be on, Pimm.
Okay, yeah, always good compared to being in the seat of a Ferrari. Tell me what it was, what happened, where'd you go, what'd you do, what'd you see?
Well, essentially, what I'm talking about today is a real Ferrari race. Okay. Everybody wants to be a race car driver. I mean, it's, you want to be an astronaut or you want to be a firefighter. Well, a lot of guys want to be a race car driver. And there's ways to do this even if you're an amateur. And one is these single-make series. You can race Porsches or Aston Martins. The longest-run single-model series is by Ferrari. And essentially, you buy the race car, which is about $350,000, and you can race eight races in a season around the U.S. and Canada against other amateurs, but it's competitive. These guys are really serious, and you get to drive some of the world's most famous tracks.
Okay, so where did you go?
So essentially, next weekend on the September 20th, I will go up to Watkins Glen, which is in the Finger Lakes region of New York, and do a race with these guys.
You haven't driven the car yet?
I have indeed driven the car.
Oh, okay.
I had to go test.
Okay.
So I went up there and spent 2 days learning the car, learning the intricacies of the track, and feeling sort of what it's like to be a race car driver without actually racing against anybody yet.
All right, so kind of take us through the whole thing. You get into the car. Can you actually get into the car?
This actually has doors. It's a really friendly, it's a very, very safe car. It's got it is built on the production.
You don't have to get into a pretzel to get into it?
You don't. You can actually get in pretty normally. Right. You kind of have to slip in. There's a roll cage in there that keeps you safe in an event of something happening.
You got the helmet,
the
you got the suit, the special shoes, the magic
fireproof
underwear,
everything. Yeah, fireproof everything, and over that you have a fireproof suit and the full face helmet. And so it's about 110 degrees in the car. And I had a coach that basically showed me the track and sort of explains the intricacies of the car. And, he took me around the track the first time, and, you're up to 150 miles an hour on a track you don't know, and it's about the most viscerally exciting thing you can imagine.
I mean, the road just peels away underneath you, or?
Watkins Glen is one of these fearsome tracks. It's an old school track that is, that's not like a new modern track, and, guys
What's
like,
the difference? As
less,
a non-track racing car
there's
person.
less runoff, and it's just more dramatic. It goes up big hills and peels around corners, and you really have to kind of draw your courage up to get around.
Now, is the courage about actually driving the car? In other words, because it is just so powerful, you got to control it. But is it also, making sure that you downshift at the right time?
That's exactly right.
You've got to.
What's interesting is that when you're driving well, you actually stop being excited. You fall into a rhythm. You're downshifting right. You're braking really hard, but at the right times. I often say it's the most zen thing I've ever done. You have to calm down.
How long does it last? In other words, how long are you actually in the car?
It's a 3.4-mile track. The race will be 35 minutes each. There'll be a race on Saturday and a race on Sunday. What's weird about it is 35 minutes feels like an eternity in the car. You think, because it's just the G-forces are pressing on your body. It's hot in there. It's physically exhausting.
Really? So, when you got out, were you just like completely
I was
drenched?
I might as well walked into a shower with my race suit on, is what I felt like. But it's the most exciting thing I've ever done. And the other thing, it is a little scary, but it's quite safe. These cars are built, actually the Ferrari race car is probably safer than your Toyota Corolla driving on a normal road, because essentially the track is built to be safe.
Right.
And,
well, you are your own worst enemy.
You are your own worst enemy.
There's someone else,
But
out there.
it's even though you're going 150 miles an hour, if something should happen, the car is quite easy to handle, and the car is built to be a safety cell. So, I'm actually more comfortable driving it.
How would you describe the model? What would it feel like? Does it feel like another Ferrari? You've driven lots of cars.
Yeah, it does, actually.
What does it feel like? What's the closest?
These are the rear. It's the same as a 458 Italia. We had talked one time about the Speciale, which is kind of it's a special. It's a little faster than normal Italia, but it's rear engine, or it's mid-engine right behind you.
So you got the V8, right?
V8,
562
horsepower, screaming behind you, and you use the paddle shifters to shift, so it's actually quite. For an amateur like me, it's not overly complicated, which is nice, because I also recently drove the Le Mans winning an Audi that won Le Mans, which is a really hardcore race car, and that thing had 40 buttons on the wheel. And that's very different than
Can you spend sometime in the future? Tell us all about that.
We're gonna have some video of that in the future as well, which was pretty neat.
What do you listen to on the radio when you go? No, nothing, right?
No, not much of that there is. Yeah. But honestly, one of the most thrilling.
Are you a changed person, really? In terms
well,
of
we'll find out. So after the 2 races next week, we'll find out. I have a feeling I'll be really badly hooked.
Well, I'll be cheering for you.
Well, I hope so.
All right. We're going to look forward to a report. All right.
Unquestionably.
Checkered flag, I know. Bloomberg auto columnist Jason Harper.